Mark. The SAR-AB is a ubiquitous device in some organisations where it's often used as part of an anchor point in a height safety system to provide the ability to lower a worker to the ground. In this video, we're going to look at 6 things not to do with a SAR-AB. Number 1, reeved backwards. The SAR-AB, like most camming style assisted braking devices, is designed to have the load that will be applied to the SAR-AB coming out of the bottom of the device nearest the anchor. Here we can see the load is coming out of the top of the device, providing no effective braking mechanism. While this is a common mistake with the SAR-AB, it should be caught 100% of the time in the function checks that we do before using our devices. We expect to be able to freely pull rope from the load through into the tail, but not to be able to pull rope towards the load. Obviously, in this configuration, the SAR-AB does not meet the function check. If we correct the reeving, it will. I can pull slack through, I cannot pull tail through. Number 2, locking the device off with a hitch. Some people view this as providing additional safety, making it impossible for us to inadvertently release the system. However, the manufacturer specifies that the SAR-AB has been designed in such a way that when subjected to significant load, up to 1 metre of tail will be pulled through the device to dissipate the force. This means it's very important that we allow the tail to be able to slide up to 1 metre. Number 3, insufficient tail to lower if I needed to lower. Here you can see I've got a figure of 8 tied in the end of my rope, which is great. This ensures that I can't inadvertently release the rope through the device and drop the load. As you can also see, I've got about 1 metre of tail here, and this is nowhere near sufficient to perform the lower that this anchor point has been designed for. Unfortunately, this is all too common. We need to be careful that when constructing an anchor that is intended to be releasable, we in fact have enough rope in our system at each anchor point to perform the lower that may be required. Number 4, having established that we're required to leave at least 1 metre of tail able to move through the device, as we said earlier, to dissipate the impact of a large force, some people draw the conclusion from that it's a good idea to create a knot after 1 metre of tail and attach that knot to the anchor. In my view, this is a bad idea. By providing the minimum required length of tail for the device to operate, we now need to continually pay attention to our anchor after every time it is loaded to ensure that we retain at least 1 metre of tail. A better idea, in my view, would be to create a knot prior to the point where our workers would hit the ground were the device to be inadvertently lowered. In our situation, that means leaving 4 metres of tail before our knot. Number 5, having established an appropriate tail length, in this case 4 metres, it's very common to see people then attach this knot to the same carabiner at the anchor point where the SAR-AB is attached. This is another bad idea. If you consider for a moment what we would need to do to conduct a lowering operation here, the first thing we're going to need to do, in many cases, is undo this knot so that we can perform the lower. Do you see anything wrong with this picture? Number 6, when lowering with the device, using the friction provided in the handle as the sole method of control without holding on to the tail. This is more common than you might think. This is a reminder that we always need to be in control of the tail of the device, no matter how smoothly we believe we can perform a lower.